All right, so Fallon, welcome aboard here at Fox Sports on the Road. I'm Michael Cohen, your host, and uh, I wanted to ask you your first question before we get into talking about your career, because you are considered one of the best darts players in the world, for that matter. Is this your first trip to New York City in general, or is this your first trip to the area, professionally from that standpoint?
This is actually my first trip over to America at all. So
Wow.
this is, yeah, so I've never been to New York before. So first impressions is actually like pretty cool. I mean, it kind of reminds me a little bit of London, but obviously it's a bit more, built up, the weather's better and there's just so much to do.
Have you had a chance to walk around New York City a little bit, kind of get sightsee a little bit? You said this is your first time here.
Yeah, so I've not had a chance to actually like sightsee like the main stuff yet, but I've had a little walk round. I keep walking like a couple of blocks and stuff. It's well cool to say that I've been walking blocks, um, but I've been trying like the hot dogs. I went into a diner yesterday. I've been trying to do the stuff that I see on the movies. So I'm trying
Hmm.
to, and I found like a couple of like coffee shops and that I want to try. So
There you go. So let's talk a little about your career, for at least for those fans who may not be aware of what you've been able to accomplish overseas here in the United States. Um, Tell us a little bit about yourself. How you got into this. I understand that you started when you were age 17.
yeah, so I started around the age of 17 because my mum and dad used to play like darts county level and my sister played. So I kind of got into it that way. Like I started off playing youth in like Super League and then county and then thought actually I can actually throw a dart. So why not try and go to the competitions? So I started off doing like local comps and then started gradually getting to the bigger comps and then obviously played like a few years and then I think then the PDC offered the opportunity for women to play at the World Championships. Obviously, I tried for that. I didn't qualify the first year, but obviously I qualified the second year. They ran it, and then obviously now you could just watch it all the time now.
It's all over the place. ESPN, whatever, it's all over now. Um, who really helped get you into the sport? Was it you still mentioned your parents, but were there any athletes you kind of looked up to at that point when you were growing up that were in darts?
Um, there wasn't like really. It sounds really bad. So like my mum and that were really the ones that said, "Oh, come on, play darts. It's all right," and stuff like that. So I was like, "Okay," but I didn't actually watch darts. Like I knew it was on. Like it used to be on TV when I was little, but I never actually watched it. Like I knew obviously the players, because obviously if it's on, you know which players are associated to the sport. But I never actually watched it, so I never actually had any icons or anything in the game. So I actually started going to competitions and going, actually, that woman's really good, that man's really good, and then I was like, actually, I want to do what they're doing.
Hmm. Awesome, awesome. Any other idols you had growing up in sports, for that matter? Outside of darts, I mean, there's been a lot of successful women in sports, as we all know, like the Williams sisters. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, I didn't. Oh, this sounds really bad. I haven't actually had any icons growing up. I used to play a little bit of tennis when I was younger, so obviously I knew about tennis and everyone like the Williams sisters and all of them. But I didn't. Like, I used to watch it. Obviously, we watch it all the time. It's on at Wimbledon and that on the TV. But again, I didn't really have any icons or anything. It was on.
Your first professional match in darts. How did you feel on the floor the first time? Do you remember what it was like going up against the whoever your opponent was that first time?
Yeah, so I absolutely was nervous. Like, I was like, oh, I do remember my first time at a competition. I was like nervous. So I was like, oh my god, like how am I supposed to do this? And all that. I think I lost, but I was a bit overwhelmed with it all because obviously you get thrown into the environment with all these like professional people, and it's just like, oh god, now I've got to try and do that. But if I was to sit there and say to myself back then, I'd go, just go and enjoy it. Don't get so like star-eyed and stuff because all these great players are surrounding you because they're just normal people. They're friendly, and if you said hello to them, they'd say hello back.
Hmm. Now, 2 years ago, Your stardom really took off when you defeated Everett's and Savolchik in the PDC World Championships. Uh, what was that moment like for you? And when did you find out about the nickname you got, which was Queen of the Palace?
Yeah, so that moment, I think the first game against Ted, I was like a bit nervous going on stage and stuff like that. But it weren't actually until I was on the walk on that I was actually getting nervous. I was like, oh, but when I was up there, I was all right. Um, when I won that one, it was like there was so much emotions going around. I didn't actually know what to do. I was like, wow, I've actually just won a game on, like, you know, the biggest stage there is in darts. And then obviously I went back and played Sulovic. And I was like, oh no, he's number 11. I'm just going to go and see how I get on. You know, he's all experienced and stuff. And I think when I hit the ball, I was just like, I just hit the ball, like, because you always want to win a game on the ball and stuff, because obviously the ball's so iconic in the game of darts, because obviously everyone knows a bullseye. And the fact that I did it, I was like, oh my God, like, and yeah, no, the whole experience and stuff was just so surreal. And, you know, there was all this emotion going around. I didn't really know what to expect, and I didn't know how to process it all. And then I got thrown into everything, and I was like getting pushed from one interview to the next. I don't think I slept for like 2 days because it was
Oh,
like
wow.
bang, bang, bang. I was like, oh God. But yeah, no, I remember that.
Yeah, because I read it in the Guardian that you mentioned how you would go to the pub and a lot of people would recognize who you were, and it was like, whoa, wait, what's going on here? A lot of these people know who I am, or they think they know who I am. Was that overwhelming? How have you adjusted to that over the time?
Yeah, so I think it was really weird, like first, because I was like, I weren't expecting like to walk into a pub and people know who I was. I was like, oh, okay, that's it. It was new, so I was a bit like shocked with it. But obviously, the more it happened, it was easier to adjust to it. And like now, I've kind of developed like how to hide myself. So if I walk into somewhere, I'll literally have no makeup on. I won't wear my glasses. I have my hair up. No one even bats an eyelid. But if they do recognise me, they're like, "Oh, you're the girl that plays darts. You're the one off the TV." So I obviously have a conversation with them, and you know, just say hello.
Yeah. When I mentioned the name Dimitri Vandenberg, what do you think of? You think of that great comeback you had?
Yeah. As soon as you say that, I just think, oh, okay, yeah, what was it, 8-2-9-3 down? And I was
Something
like,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
come back and snatched it.
hmm I mean, well, I was watching the replay of that on YouTube a couple of days ago, and I could see how overwhelmed you were because it was just such an amazing comeback. To hit a 25 and then hit a bullseye like that and win it. Um, I can't imagine what you seemed like you were had a loss for words at the moment when the interviewer came to talk to you. Just talk about that moment for yourself, maybe even for your family.
Yeah, no, that was definitely like a shocked moment because
Mhm.
obviously I was expecting Dimitri just to close the game off, especially being like 8-2 down 9-3. So in my head, I'm just thinking, just get as many legs as you can, because obviously he's still got to close the game off, so he's still got to hit some doubles and stuff. And all I need him to do is just miss some doubles. And obviously when it got back to like 10-10, I think it was, I was like, okay, we'll just throw. And then obviously I started off with like a 180, I think. And yeah, I'm somehow won the game. I was like, okay, that's brilliant. And I think coming back off of it, I was like checking my shoes. I was like, that's pretty lucky. But I was more proud of myself because I can deal with pressure and, you know, the nerves and all of that. So I was like, just kind of showed it, and I was able to come back. That was definitely one of the biggest comebacks that I've ever done. I don't think I've ever let myself get that far back to try and win a game now. I'm like, no, I don't want to get back. But that was such hard work.
I can't imagine how precise you had to be to make that happen. I mean, were you thinking about like, I got if I hit this, if I hit the triple here, if I hit a double here, or were you just saying, I hope I hit something. I hope it's something close to getting back into it.
I just kept thinking, just carry on. I was just like,
Yeah.
just carry on playing, because he's still got to close the game out. And all I need him to do is just miss a couple of doubles. And then if he misses the doubles, instantly on my head, I'm thinking, pounce on it, jump on it. Like if he misses, you've got to take it out. You ain't getting another shot. And that is actually, I think, how I got through that game.
On the women's side, you've gone up against Lisa Ashton for a number of times. Um, do you consider that a bit of a rivalry? I mean, did you look up to her at one point? We'll talk about that between the two of you.
Yeah, so I've always looked up to Lisa because obviously Lisa's world champion, you know, 4 times. So I think it's 4 times. I want to get that, it is 4 times, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just like double checking with that because I think it's 4. It's either 4 or 5, one of the two. So obviously, I'm always going to look up to Lisa because obviously it's something that I want to do as well. I want to be a world champion and all of that. And you know, I quite like playing Lisa because I know, you know, that I'm gonna get a really good game, and I can't miss 3 darts at a double or miss a dart at a double because she'll come and take the leg, and you know, then she'll probably like do like a 11 dart or something after I've missed darts, and it's always like a really good game. So I love playing Lisa, but I just wish I had other women like that, like in the sport, that would be able to kind of give, you know, them type of games. But there's only a couple, and I think with the PDC Women's Series, I think it will build up the women in the sport to be able to compete on like a regular basis against, obviously, the opportunities to get against men.
And I believe you got more of those, more of that series coming. Even after this event here in New York, you go back and you're playing more series, more women's series throughout the summer.
Yeah, so I think I've got Copenhagen when I get back, and then I think we're in Holland the week after or something. And then I think in August we have Australia. So it is very hectic, but I'm enjoying it, and I've been waiting 2 years, I think, for these opportunities. So I'm just going to take it as it comes and, you know, try and play as my best that I can.
What are your thoughts about this weekend's event in New York City? From what I can see here on the card, you're the only woman in the event participating. Just your thoughts about it. What are your expectations?
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for it. I can't wait to get back onto a big stage and play, you know, play darts. I'm you know, I'm quite excited. I want to go up and I want to play well. Obviously, I don't know, you know, my draw yet, but it doesn't bother me who I've got. I just want to go and I want to win, you know, my first game. Then if I win that, I want to win the second game, and I take each game as it comes. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, but I'd love to just sit there and just start the ball rolling and start off with a win.
You mentioned your sister played darts, right? Does she still play darts professionally? Have you competed against her?
Yeah, I mean, Philly still kind of plays. I mean, she's playing the women's series that the PDC's put on, but you know, she plays county as well. She does local comps, so she still you know plays, and but there isn't that many comps on at the moment anyway. But obviously, that's after COVID, and it's starting to get back to normal. But obviously, when things start getting back to normal, then I think she'll be like playing in everything.
You mentioned that this was your first, to kind of round it up here. You mentioned this was your first trip to America ever. At the beginning of this interview, what were your thoughts about New York, New Jersey, that's this area before you ever came here, and what are your thoughts now? Has it changed at all, or?
No, I think if anything, it's more, you know, it was what I expected, but more, if that made sense.
Hmm.
I didn't expect it to be so, you know, built up and just so city, and well, obviously it was, but obviously I judge by what it's like in the movies, and it's like, no, it's so hectic, and I'm really enjoying it.
So Fallon, again, welcome here to America, obviously for this tournament, the Bet 365 U.S. Darts Masters. Any final thoughts about this competition this weekend?
Um, I just want to just go and make a good call of myself, really. I just want to go, win, you know, play well. I'm just so excited, and you know, I'm on an iconic stage, and I just want to get there and experience it.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.